This is creative rhythmic activities. In this lesson, we will be looking at the meaning of creative rhythmic activities. We are going to look at the characteristics of creative rhythmic activities and also the examples of these rhythmic activities. But first, what is creative rhythmic activities? These activities are created activities that follows regular pattern. Most times, activities that are caused by either animals or even humans are repeated. They follow a pattern that is always repeated. They can be created by animals, machines, or objects. These activities are not natural human activities. They are created from activities of animals and objects around us. Now, these activities are not made by God. They are not created by God. They are created by man. And these activities follows a regular repeated pattern. The characteristics of these activities is that, number one, they are created by animals, objects, or machines, and they are not created by God. The second one is that they follow a regular pattern. With the example of the image we have on the screen, we can see that the image is stirring a big pot repeatedly and is following a regular pattern when turning. Also, another characteristic of the creative rhythmic activity is that they are always repetitive. It means that as you do it, you follow a regular pattern. Some examples of these activities are galloping like a horse. You can see the picture. The horse is galloping, and as it's moving, it's following a repeated pattern. As it's galloping, it's following a repeated pattern. Also, we also have leaping like a frog. Now, the frog is another animal that follows a repeated pattern, a rhythmic activity. As it leaps, it jumps from one place to another, following that repeated pattern. Another example of this is the crab, crawling like a crab. The crab uses its 6 legs to crawl from one place to another. As the crab does that, it's following a rhythmic activity. Most of us have seen a bird fly. The bird flies by swinging its wings up and down, which is called gliding. Now, gliding is another repeated activity that is done by the bird that enables the bird to fly. Also, many of us have dogs at home, and we must have seen our dog bark. The dog does not just bark once and stop. It follows a repeated pattern. As the dog continues to bark, it is doing what is called a rhythmic activity. So barking like a dog is another rhythmic activity that is done by a dog. We also have mowing like a cow. When a cow is being milked, it mows, which enables the cow to mow. Also, we have bleating like a sheep. The sheep bleats, which gives it a rhythmic activity. We can also see a rider in a boat, riding the boat, rolling the boat from one direction to another. Doing that, it's another rhythmic activity that is done by man. This is not God or natural made. It is man that is riding the boat. We also see a lizard moving. As the lizard moves, it crawls, which is called crawling like a lizard. It's also a rhythmic activity that is done by the lizard. We must have seen soldiers march. The soldiers marching is a very unique rhythmic activity that is done by man. As the soldier marches, they move from one direction to another following a rhythmic step. Also, we also have meow like a cat. The cat also follows a rhythmic activity, which makes them to do a repeated pattern as they meow. The train is another example of a rhythmic activity. Now, as their wheel moves, it follows a repeated pattern, as you can see in the picture below. The wheel is moving, and as it's moving, as it's rolling in the rail, it follows a repeated pattern. Now, do you know that there are so many other creative rhythmic activities around you? Even inside of you, some of us may even see our heart as it beats as an example of rhythmic activity. Now, do you feel that you can also name one example for me? I believe that with these examples, we can get so many other examples around us. Do not forget to always do your assignment that is given and play the game that is also part of this lesson. Thank you and see you in our next class.